I don't even know where to start. Alright, so hey everybody! Today we are unboxing an entire wave of figures. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 figures, all from the recent Marvel Legends House of X wave. So we have, in no particular order, Wolverine, Marvel Girl, Omega Sentinel, Magneto, Xavier, Cyclops, and Moira. I think I'll start from the ones I'm least excited about to the ones I'm most excited about. So let's do some shuffling here. Let's see. Yep. Magneto. Ladies up front. I don't know. Cyclops first. Xavier and Moira. Yeah, that looks like a good order. So let's open Cyclops first, and let's also take a look at the packaging really quick. Simple black box. You can see the House of X logo behind him there. Every time. She's still going. On the sides, we've got the same illustration, mirrored. And on the back, just a quick little blurb about the character, that same illustration, who all you get in the wave, and then the wave Build-A-Figure, which will be the Tri-Sentinel, and what I'm most excited about. And we've also got Cyclops written out in some strange language. Now here's the part of the video where you probably will figure out that I haven't read House of X. So there's gonna be a lot of ignorance here on my part, including but not limited to how to open a box. So I will not know the intricacies of these characters in particular, because while I do know X-Men, I don't know House of X X-Men. Oh, that's kind of cool. The logo in the back has that illustration superimposed on top of it. What a nice little detail. His face is just really stuck in there. Come on out. We'll set aside this Sentinel arm for later. What can you say about Cyclops? Probably the most controversial of the X-Men. I'm sure this design looks really cool on paper, but in action figure form, it's a little lackluster and confusing, if you can be both at the same time. There are just so many straight lines that aren't going to match up as you pose the figure. I appreciate the painted metal rivets on the belt pouches. It would have been nice to have a little wash. These are sculpted really nicely, though. His gauntlets look kind of like something you'd get at a tourist shop in New Mexico. Like silver inlaid with big chunks of turquoise. I'm sure they do something important in the comic. I assume that all of these will have about the same amount of articulation. He looks up for blasting at the sky, way down for chin to chest. Overall, it looks like just the standard buff superhero body that we've seen a million times before. Crunch at the chest, swivel at the waist, swivel at the bicep. Elbow can only go about that far. The jewelry gets in the way. Nice movement on the legs though. Look at that. Swivel at the thigh, double knee, but his chunky thighs get in the way. For accessories, Scott's gonna come with an alternate head in blasted mode, and this looks good. It's a good sculpt. Cool energy effect coming out of the eyes. Tiny teeth in there. And then he'll have this energy blast effect you just plug right in. Zong. Switch out his heads. Boop boop. Let's see if we can get his arm to his head to do his blasting pose. There we go. Not perfect, but serviceable. I think it would be nice if the energy effect was a bit more translucent, because as it is, it just kind of looks like he got hit in the eyes with some kind of building material during a hurricane or something. Like a big piece of red plexiglass just flew toward him and he couldn't block it in time. But if you know what Scott's deal is, and you know about his optic blast, and of course you do, then you can suspend disbelief and see this as what it was meant to be. And I think that's beautiful. I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit. Next, we're going to look at Marvel Girl. Why? So I guess in this series they call her by her superhero name instead of just calling her real name all the time. That always confused me, like she was the one member who didn't have a cool name. Man, okay, this one looks cool, but you are not going to get much action out of her. Wait, what? Just every part of her design, it's not conducive to posing. From her giant hunk of hair to her skirt here. She cannot look up, she can swivel all around. Swivel around at the shoulder and arc out. Single elbow, can't bring her arm up very close to her face. Thighs do basically nothing because of this skirt. Double knee, yeah, I don't know, I like the character design, but then there's something about this that feels a little off to me. Maybe it's her eyes, they look kind of blank, like a doll's eyes. And her head in general just looks too big for the rest of her body, but that may just be her hair, because she's got giant floofy hair. I mean, the sculpting and paint applications look really great. They even put this leathery texture on the belt here. I do wish these boots were an actual separate part and weren't just painted right on the skin. These are some sweet gloves though. They do kind of remind me of dishwashing gloves. Does anyone wear gloves to wash dishes? If you look closely at her face, you can see some tiny eyebrows underneath those mask holes. Jean's going to come with 2 extra hands, doing that weird female action figure hand pose we talked about before that no one likes. And this thing, an alien flower in a pod, maybe? I don't know what it is. It's kind of what it looks like. It's pretty. I wonder if she's meant to be holding that. So let's see if it'll fit in one of her hands. Well, maybe if you lay it this way. I got you a flower. Happy Valentine's Day. Her skirt is so thick. It is not pliable at all. Underneath it, you can kind of see you get a thigh rotation. That's not going to do much if the leg can't arc out any. Moving on to Omega Sentinel. Should I just rip into these boxes? I'm not going to keep them. No one cares. No one cares. Okay, now this is a character I definitely don't know anything about. Is she a good guy? Is she a bad guy? I mean, she looks like a bad guy, but that doesn't really mean much nowadays. I do like this design and the execution. Like with the Cyclops toy, this one has a lot of straight lines, but not as many as Cyclops, so it won't be so annoying when you pose her around. And I like this color scheme. Red, white, red, silver. She is a lot more posable than Jean. I had trouble at first getting this ball joint in her head to move. It was just stuck a little bit. But now that I've unstuck it, she can look up, look down, swivel, swivel in the chest. Not much crunch. When you bend her over though at the hips, her legs want to splay out. I don't know what that's about. When you move the arms, the armor on the shoulders will move into the body so it doesn't impede movement of the arms. Really cool hinge and swivel on the elbows. I guess she's a robot, so that makes sense. I don't know. Is she a robot? I like these gears on her belly. Yeah, because of this curve in her hips, whenever you bring the leg up, she wants to arc it out, which isn't a problem, I don't think, because you can just readjust. Legs go up really high, arcing out again to the back. Double knee. Wow, she's so flexible. Yeah, I like her. I don't know what her deal is, but she's cool. She comes with 2 arms. I think these are alternate, like, weapon arms. We're going to find out in a minute. And this weird head. We'll get into the head in a minute, because I have opinions. Okay, let's take a look at this arm deal we got going on here. Here's some kind of plasma cannon arm. And it looks like there's a little hole here you could plug in an effect or something if you had one. You make both her arms into weapons. Is that overkill? I don't know anything about this character. Maybe she likes overkill. That looks pretty cool. This cannon is a little bit bare bones. I preferred this one. It's got this cool orange energy effect. Could do with a little more paint on the gun arms, but they're not bad as they are. Okay, let's talk about this head. I don't like it. The hair sculpt is fantastic. It looks great. But I don't know, on this body, on this character, it looks so weird. Having hair on a mostly inorganic character in the first place is strange, but then these are pigtails. I mean, this hairstyle is usually reserved for young girls, so it gives the figure kind of a naivete. She's not nearly as imposing with these big flowing pigtails. I'm sure there's a reason? I don't know. I don't like the brown. It doesn't match with the rest of the color scheme either. I will be sticking with this head. Clearly the superior head. I'm really just going all out of order. I had this whole thing set up and then I just threw it out the window. Which one should we do next? We'll do Professor X. The man can walk now. Whoa, what are these? Are these those shoes that aren't really shoes? They just conform to your foot? I think I'm getting stress hiccups. So overall, this figure is pretty minimalist. It's a little disturbing. He looks kind of emaciated. I don't know if he's supposed to look super skinny or if he's supposed to look muscular, but just looks super skinny to me. Pure black on the body for the bodysuit. Cool looking headpiece though. I assume this is some kind of portable cerebro. I could be wrong. Man, these hiccups. So sculpting on the headpiece looks really cool. It's got all these bits and bobs and doodads and these pliable wires sticking out. Yeah, it's pretty plain. There's not even a wash of any kind on any part of the figure. Looks up, chin to chest. Ooh, butterfly joint in the shoulders. It's better than what we've seen from the other figures so far. Bicep swivel, double elbow, chest crunch, waist rotation. Man, he is so thin. Look at that. He's like a little skeleton man. That's not healthy. A leg can't go out very far, but it can go up, back, double knee. Whoa, contortionist. And Professor X just comes with an extra pair of hands and an alternate head. And the head has this telekinetic wah 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 effect coming out of it. So let's take off this head, put on this head. Will the hands be easier? Ooh, jeez. Yeah, the hands are rough. There we go. I don't know. This one isn't my favorite. It's just pretty bare bones, and that's partly because of the design, which looks cool in illustration form, not so much as cool in plastic form. I definitely prefer this head. This headpiece just has a lot more going on, I guess. Is Professor X still old in House of X, or is he younger, or what's going on? Why does he look like a skeleton? Let's look at Wolverine next, and after that only 2 more. It doesn't look like Wolverine comes with a Tri-Sentinel part. Too good for it? Huh? Wolverine? Is that what you're telling me? Too good to come with a Tri-Sentinel part? Maybe Marvel Legends figured that people would mainly just want Wolverine, so they didn't bother putting a Tri-Sentinel part with him. That is just pure speculation. I am not affiliated with Marvel Legends or with anything, really. Short and stout, as Wolverine should be. This disturbs me for some reason. This giant chunk of tricep with squiggly lines to denote the hair. It's kind of gross. Head sculpt is great, an appropriately feral expression. He looks like he's just ready to kill someone, as Wolverine usually is. The mask is really well sculpted too. Up, way down, side to side. He's another one that's got a butterfly joint at the shoulder, so his arm can go way out, forward, plus hinge and swivel. This looks pretty awkward to me. I guess this was the best way that they came up with to get posability and also display his ginormous buff arms. Looks strange if you pose them out of alignment. But anyway, there's a swivel there. Double elbow. Swivel and rocker at the hands. Nice crunch. Not so much back crunch. Swivel there too. That's being hidden by the belt. Not much outward movement in the legs, but it's Wolverine. Did you really expect that? Swivel at the thigh. His leg goes up pretty far though. Double knee. Yeah, it's pretty good posability for a Wolverine figure. He's a more solid character, so sometimes it can be hard to translate those. Then as we see in Jean, she is a less solid character and can't be posed at all. The adamantium claws are pliable, still a little sharp. He did not come with separate hands without the claws, so these are just going to be out on display at all times. Comes with this head, which has a beard, I guess. I think it could have used a little bit more paintwork because it just kind of looks like he dipped his chin in gravy, which, you know, I wouldn't put past him. I don't know, I guess there's a part in the story where he grows a beard, or maybe he gets older and this is their way of showing that he's older because he has a gray beard. The heads on these things are very difficult to get on. Yeah, that's a cool look too. I thought I liked this head better, but he looks pretty scary like this. He might even look more like he wants to kill someone with this head. Brown and mustard yellow, not my favorite color combo, but if everything was catered the way I liked it, the world would be a very weird place. Moving on, next to last, to my favorite figure. At least from what I've seen. Moira McTaggert. Ooh, Moira comes with a lot of stuff. Alright, maybe she's the most boring in this wave for some people, but she was the one that I wanted the most actually. She just screams cool scientist. And so fashionable. Nicely done hair and face, and she's even got some lenses in those glasses. Nice to see the glasses wearing crowd being represented. She's got what looks like Sharpies, maybe? Seems a little unprofessional. In her coat pocket. I don't think heels are very sensible for lab work, but they're a little understated. It's okay. It might be hard to see, but her shirt has this fine knit texture on it, which looks really cool, and the wrinkles sculpted in really add to that fabric feeling. I did notice she has the exact same skirt that we saw on Marvel Girl. Slit up one side, no slit up the other, but this one feels thinner, so I compared them, and forgive the upskirt shots. Marvel Girl's skirt is a lot thicker than Moira's, so that could be just a mistake in the manufacturing process. Extra rubber or a different kind of rubber got poured in the mold. I don't know. This one is definitely thinner and more pliable. Look at all those wrinklies. I don't know much about Moira, but I think I would want to be friends with her. Up, down, a little bit of tilt side to side, swivel and rotation at the shoulder, swivel and rotation at the elbow. A little separation here for a swivel on the chest and arc out her leg further than Marvel Girl. Skirt's gonna get in the way of a lot of leg movement, but what are you gonna have Moira doing? Double knee. Yeah, I like her a lot. She comes with stuff. Alternate head, I guess for when she's not in the lab, out on the town. Some big chunky gold earrings and a swell hat. A little neckerchief to go with it. A book on physics, I guess, and alternate arms. So let's change up her look a bit. These heads are hard to get off. Arm is hard to get out too. I had to run her under some hot water to get this arm out. It just refused to go. So yeah, then you can take off her coat, put her ascot on, neckerchief, whatever it is supposed to be. I had to run this head under hot water to get it to fit Moira and preemptively heated up the joints on these too, so hopefully they'll fit in. Oh god. So here's her out on the town casual look, which is cool too, but I really prefer the jacket. Also her shoulders look strange without the jacket on. And there's that hand again, that female hand. Doing something, I don't know. I don't know what that is. She's got a curled hand where she can hold her book. There, she's about to educate someone. Yep, I'm sorry for liking probably the least interesting character, but she looks so cool. I am going to put her back in her scientist look though, because I do like that one better. Alright, and last, Magneto. Are he and Charles friends yet? Oh, it does say, Magneto forges an unlikely partnership with Xavier in pursuit of a lofty common goal, the protection of all mutants. Okay, so they're friends. They're friends again, is what I'm going to choose to believe. It's a great thing about fictional characters, you can believe anything you want. Mag. Knee. Toe. And he will come with the Tri-Sentinel heads. And there are 3 of them. Excited to put that together, but look at him first. I am like 90% sure this is the same body that we see in Scott. Scott would not be happy with that. This design is like a mix of Scott's and Xavier's. Minimalist, but still has these lines. Is this belt the same as Scott's too? No, the belt's different. Very monochrome colors on him. We've got this pop of red in the belt. That's about it, aside from the flesh tone of his face. Silvery plastic to simulate the metal on his outfit. Ginormous cape. And the cape is well sculpted, but it's already getting in the way. Take it off, though. It's got this peg where you can plug it into a hole in his back, but it's also got this little nubbin right here, I guess to keep it kind of off of the back and flowy, but it's a little too flowy. You know what I'm saying? Let's move that for posing purposes. Yeah, without the cape, he doesn't look nearly as imposing. You can get a little peek at the face sculpt underneath the helmet there. Head up and down. No butterfly joints on him, but we do have swivel, bicep rotation. It looks like there's a double elbow, but this gauntlet is so huge that it's not really much good. Crunch forward, a little bit of crunch back. Swivel at the waist hidden by the belt. Can't go out much on the leg. Kicks forward. Oh no. Leg can't go out very far. Double knee, but once again, his legs are so chunky that doesn't do much good. He comes with 2 different sets of hands and nothing else. Let's make him do this menacing grabby hand. Actually, I'm gonna put his cape back on because he looks cooler with the cape. Capes make everything cooler, unless you're in The Incredibles, I guess. So yeah, if you want a Magneto to stand there and look imposing, this one's pretty nice. I do like the white and silver color scheme. It especially looks nice against this blue background. Yeah, I guess there's not much to say about Magneto. I mean, it's pretty much bits and pieces of the same bodies we've seen before. Nice cape. I think the higher opinion someone has of themselves, the bigger their cape is. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, the Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure. Honestly, I'm so excited about this. I like robots, and I like the color purple. The actual color, not the book. But the book too. Let's see, is this labeled in any way? Oh yeah, the insides are labeled so you know where to stick it. Is it my left or the robot's left? But in the heads, I guess the heads don't have to go in any particular order. Is there a dominant head like Ghidorah? There's just one that bosses the others around. Other ones just kind of have to take it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go run some water under this. These heads are a pain to get in. The necks are textured, so they're kind of sharp. Hurt my fingies. Yeah, I'm not sure this head system is the greatest. Okay, it took a little bit of work to get those heads in. I ran hot water under the head connection points and the head holes, and then I had to use pliers to stuff these in here, and I'm still not sure if they're really in there well or not. Was it worth it? I think so. This thing looks awesome. I kind of love it. Purple is such a good look on this robot. I just like robots that have really cool and unusual designs. Like, sure, this one is human-shaped, but it's very exaggerated human shapes. It's got this huge, like, carapace type back. 3 spooky heads. So we've got a swivel at the shoulder, swivel and ball joint at the elbow. Man, look at those hands. The hands are very well sculpted and appropriately creepy. We've got some swivel at the torso. Good, because I assume it can look in any direction. Pew pew. How does it attack? I don't know. High kick. Actually, it's got a lot of range in the legs. Heads can rotate around independently of one another. I'm afraid that one is going to pop out and I'll have to go through this entire song and dance all over again. Oh, yep, there we go. So be careful when putting in the heads and be careful when playing around with the heads because they come out so easily. Is the wave worth it for this figure alone? If you like purple robots, which I do. So yeah, cool wave, cool characters, amazing purple robot. If you like the X-Mans and we're thinking about getting this wave, then I would wholly recommend it. Some of the figures suffer from lack of posability, but still have cool designs. And you get Moira, who is amazing. I think that about wraps it up for this one. Sorry, got the hiccups halfway through the review. Hope it wasn't too annoying. I'll try to edit those out. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one.